Yeah, so where is the necessity to change if it is a completeness? Now, so this is one of the important influences upon Plato. Uh, Now let us try to understand the other important influences. Yes, Radhika, do you have a question? Radhika, your hand is up. Any question? Okay, no, right. Uh, so uh, let us now look at the other influences that existed upon Plato. If you look at influences on Plato, you can see there are two kinds of influences. One is the philosophical influence, and when we say philosophical influences, uh, in Plato, mathematics is integral to uh, the whole idea of philosophy. Uh, you know, in for the Greeks, uh, there was not much of a difference between mathematics and philosophy. One of the abstruse or recondite facts that most people don't know because they are abstruse or very little known is the fact that most of Greek cosmology, like Indian cosmology, is derived from mathematics. So philosophy and mathematics, both in ancient Indian civilization and in the ancient Greek civilization, they went together. They went together because both the ancient civilizations that we are talking about are those which are called cosmologies. Uh, did I explain what a cosmology is to you? Can somebody tell me?
No, sir, you didn't explain.
I didn't explain what a cosmology is. Okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so I'll explain that because that is extremely, again, another big influence on Plato, the whole idea of a cosmology. See, there are uh, different ways of looking at the world. Okay. One is you look at the world as a cosmos, and the other way in which we look at the world is, or rather, people looked at the world, is that it is a chaos, chaos, chaos. Now, if we are talking about cosmos and chaos. Let us start with chaos first, because this is where most misunderstandings occur. We have a tendency in our own time now to equate chaos with confusion, with disorganization, uh, and negative things like that. But the truth of the matter is that that is not what a chaos is. The actual meaning of chaos is that things that happen in the world, things that basically happen in the world, they happen uh, because of the fact that there is no predetermined purpose behind it. Everything is just an accident. Now, by accident, please don't think of accidents as in road accidents or train accidents. An accident, by definition, is something that was not intended to happen, but something that just happened because of the circumstances in which something happened, in which that accident happened. So let me give you an example so that you'd understand this very clearly. Now, I'm your teacher for Western political thought. So my being your teacher in the arts college for Western political thought is just an accident. Okay, it's an accident in the sense that uh, I am in the arts college right now. Till about a year back ago, I was in the PG college at Secunderabad. Now I'm in arts college. And since I'm in arts college, we are doing something where I have become your teacher. So it's just pure accident. It was not determined or predetermined, uh, not determined, predetermined that I be your teacher. Okay, it's just accident. It's something that had to happen and it has happened. But if you look at the idea of cosmos and all ancient civilizations, and especially the ancient civilizations of Greece and India, if you look at them, they believe in this idea of a cosmos. So what is the cosmos? Today, when we talk about the cosmos, we talk about the universe. Okay? We talk about astral bodies. By astral bodies, I mean planets, galaxies, stars, sun, all these things. That's what we think is the cosmos. Uh, Now, we have to remember that this idea of the cosmos that we are talking about is not simply astral bodies. The idea of a cosmos basically is that everything that happens for a predetermined reason. You may not know the reason. You may not know that predetermined reason, but everything that happens for a predetermined reason, which means nothing is in our hands. I want you to remember this, because when I talk about the sophists, I will be talking about this. Nothing is in our hands. Things are decided by the universe. Now look at the word universe itself. Okay, if you look at the word universe, what does it mean? Break it into two and you will get the meaning. Uni is one. Okay, uni is one. Verse, verse, verse is, today we use it in the context of music. In the ancient times, people used the verse part as that which constitutes the uh, the constitutive element of the world. So the world is a universe, right? The world is a universe. Please do not go by this Miss Earth, Miss or Miss World and Miss Universe pageant. Those definitions are okay for those, but when you say it is one verse, what it means is, again, like Parmenides said, everything that happens in this world for a reason. And the world is a whole completeness and a oneness. A whole completeness and a oneness is what the world is. It's one. So everything that happens here happens because it is predetermined. Because it is predetermined. So to come back to the same example that I gave you about me being your students, sorry, your teacher, and you being my students is not an accident. Till last year, I was in PG college, which means that I had to teach those people. I don't know why I had to teach those people, but the universe knows it. The universe knows it. Now, my being transferred to Arts College last year, that is because I had to start teaching your seniors and now you, because there is a reason behind it. We may not know the reason. We may not know the reason, but it is predetermined. I am supposed to be your teacher. You are supposed to be my students. Who determines this? It's not you, it's not me, it's the universe. In the universe or in the cosmos, there is, strictly speaking, no concept of God. What we have is that which is broadly called pantheism. Pantheism is you see the universe itself as being some kind of a divinity. The universe itself is a divinity. And everything that happens in this universe is interconnected. Now, one of the best examples that I can give you of a cosmology, which is this interconnectedness, okay, this interconnectedness and things happening for a reason. One of the best examples that I can think of is that which comes from the ancient Indian civilization. Okay, I'm giving you this example because this is easier to relate. It would be the same even in ancient Greece, though we don't know if they had this particular practice. The example that I'm going to give you is astrology. Okay, now people have called astrology all kinds of things. Some people say astrology is backwardness. Some people say astrology is bogus. Some people say astrology is alchemy. Okay, alchemy is an undeveloped kind of system of knowledge. That's what alchemy means. ALCHEMY. Now, astrology is not any of these things. Astrology, please look at the way it functions. One can make predictions about the future. And if you go to an astrologer, if you go to a good astrologer, and a good astrologer will also tell you what happened in your past life, not past life as in another life, in the same life, in the past, at what age, what kind of things happened in your life. And how are they determining this? They are determining this by looking at your natal chart. Okay, what is the natal chart? Natal chart is a horoscope. Now, if somebody has to basically tell you about yourself, whether it is your past or your future, or even the present, what are the requirements? The first requirement is what time were you born? Not what time, which date were you born? The second requirement is at what time were you born? The third requirement is at what place were you born? Now, once these three things are given, then what happens is that you find somebody saying your birth star is so and so. Okay, the star is so and so, and then they draw the natal chart depending on the star and what is called in Sanskrit uh, lagna. Okay, lagna. So what they do is they make a correlation of all these things. Once they make a correlation of all these things, they are able to tell you about you without you telling them anything about yourself. They will tell you. Now, astrology has got a bad name because of the fact that there are bad astrologers, not sufficiently educated in the science of astrology. Please believe me, astrology is extremely scientific. Okay. Now, bad astrologers doesn't mean that astrology is bogus. Now, take for example me, I'm your teacher. I'm a pretty bad teacher. That does not mean that, all teaching is bogus. There are good teachers. The good teachers will teach you well. Just because you met me and I'm not a good teacher, it doesn't mean that the whole teaching profession itself is nonsense. Teaching has no meaning. It isn't that. Now, astrology, therefore, should be seen as a failure today because of the fact that people do not have adequate knowledge, not because it is a bogus system, not because it's an alchemy. It's a proper science. Nothing can be more scientific, perhaps, than astrology. Latitudes, longitudes, all those things come into it. That is a cosmology. You're saying your life is determined by the stars, the positions of the planets. All that is taken into consideration in order to give you an understanding of your past, your future. It's not just something like, somebody's sitting and guessing and telling you something. No. So astrology is the best example of a cosmology where your existence is not unlinked with anybody else or anything else, or linked with just a few people. If you were born as the child of somebody, there is a reason behind it. You are somebody's child because there is a reason behind it. You are studying MA political science because there's a reason behind it. I am teaching you Western political thought because there's a reason behind it. And these reasons are not determined by us. They are not determined by us. they are determined by the cosmos, universe. Cosmos is the universe, and everything in the universe happens for a reason. It happens for a reason. Nothing happens accidentally. Nothing happens accidentally. Everything happens for a reason. So, with people like Parmenides and people like Pythagoras, about whom I actually wanted to talk today, uh, I didn't realize that I didn't talk to you about uh, cosmology. Uh, all these people are Western cosmological thinkers. Zeno, Parmenides, Melissus, all these people, Pythagoras and his innumerable followers, they all were cosmologists. They believed in the idea that the world is a cosmos. It's a living system. It's a living system in which things happen for a reason. It is not as if they happen accidentally. There is no accident as far as cosmological thinking is concerned. So, if you juxtapose cosmology with sociology, sociology, you're only looking at the idea of society, of that too only human society, and you're trying to understand why human society is the way in which it is. But if you're somebody who believes in a cosmology, then your focus is not just the human society. Your focus is upon the entire universe, the cosmos, the living system. Gods came later, by the way. Gods came later, much, much later. What you should know is that initially, when people talked about cosmology, they saw divinity in the cosmos. I don't know if you're aware of this. Of late, I've been doing some research on ancient Indian thought, which is, like I said, cosmological. And I was stunned to find in the Rig Veda that there is nothing without a soul in the universe. In the universe, everything in the cosmos, everything has a soul, including grains of sand. Grains of sand also have a soul, Atman, as it is called. But the Greeks are different. People like Pythagoras, they did not believe that the soul existed in non-human beings, other living creatures. Pythagoras talks about the soul. Please remember this. I'll be talking to you about it tomorrow. Pythagoras talks about souls, but he believes that only human beings have souls. No other life forms have souls. This is a belief that is there still in the Western civilization and also in Islam, that soul is there only in human beings. So that is the difference in terms of the cosmologies. I'll stop here, and tomorrow I'll pick up the ideas of Pythagoras and how they influenced Plato. I'm afraid this bit of detailed teaching is necessary if you want to understand Plato properly. Otherwise, your understanding of Plato will not only be incomplete, it will also be incorrect. So thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow. Are you, the college opening, will people be coming tomorrow?
No, sir.
Okay. So we'll have an online class tomorrow. We'll see how it is day after tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. So see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock online. Thank you very much. Thank you.